In this video, I will show you the process of segmentation into 18 classes and also how to create and work with actions, which will make our life easier and make the process a little bit more automized. First is to find the panel of actions. For this, we go to the window and actions. From here, we can start creating our actions, which are based on layers, which we use for the segmentation. Let's start with the first layer and how to create an action. We go to the folder icon and create a new set of our actions for our task, which is 18 class segmentation. So let's call it 18 class segmentation. Now we created a set into which we will put all our necessary actions. From here, we go to the icon on the right of the folder and press create new action. And we will call it layers because this action will be responsible for the creation of the layers. And we press record. From here, based on our predetermined colors and labels, we will create the layers for our work. First thing first is to create a layer and name it foreground. Press enter. To put the color to this layer, we go to the panel and press add a layer style and choose color overlay. Make sure the opacity is 100%. And here, double click and we select our predetermined color, which is for foreground is 00FF00. Press OK. Therefore, for now, we can press pause for now, just to look how this works. Now we created an automatic action which will create our foreground layer. From here, we can create action for every layer and then combine them, or just create one action and add to this all our layers. Let's proceed with the second option. As I press record again, it will add to the existing part of our action. So let's press record again and create a couple more layers just to get the better understanding. From here, we create another layer. We change the name, background, press a layer function, color overlay, and choose our color, which is red. Okay. And once more, next layer is hair, function, color overlay, and color for hair is 234FF. And so on. Let's create one more, which is body skin. Go to color overlay, and we create FFF 3 zeros. Let's press stop for now. Color overlay plays very important role. From this point on, whatever color I choose and paint on this layer, this is the only color that will show. On body skin we made yellow, on hair we made blue, on background we made red, even though my selected color is purple. From here we proceed making our layers. Let's create a couple more, and just to really make sure we got it. Face skin, function, color overlay, 100%, white. This is how we create an action for layers. From here, we will proceed making our 18 classes. But luckily for us, I already have this action made. So don't look what I do here. We will just take this. So based on this logic, we just create more layers with our chosen colors. And this is how it should look. All 18 colors. From here, we're moving onto the second part, which is filling. We can start our segmentation a little bit just to show you how it's done. Let's create a path with pen, which you can select by shortcut pressing P or just on the left. From here, we just make a path. And connect it. Let's create our second action, which we'll call fill. Right after we made a path. Now we're recording a second action. So let's proceed. We will start this action with us pressing right click and choosing fill path. From here we'll get a pop-up window. Make sure you have chosen content foreground color, mode normal, opacity 100%, and be careful and look for this check mark. There should be anti-alias, which is very important for this step. Press OK. This made a fill for our path, and from here we press right click again on this area within the confines which we made, and we press delete path. This is all it takes to make the second action. We press stop. Now for every layer we choose we can make a path with our pen, press our newly made fill action, and it'll fill that path with the color of our chosen layer. And background should be red. Fill is red. Now let's go back and delete this. From here, we can proceed our segmentation, which I will show you now. This part is just me doing the segmentation. And to the other, we also select heads. All others are selected, so let's press fill. Let's move on to the close. Make sure to zoom out from time to time just to see what you're actually doing. Close is done. Let's actually go back to the others, and we have glasses should be labeled as other 2. very helpful in this situation is this icon in pen. We go here and we select exclude overlapping shapes. So now to fill just the frame of the glasses, we can do a path within a path, and it will just cut this part out. You will see just in a minute. And now, because we selected exclude overlapping shapes, as we fill, it only fills the frame. Let's move on to the nostrils. Fill. Teeth. Fill lips. Let's move on to the brows. Filled our brows. Now let's move on to the eyes, where we will create another action. Let's select our pupils. We will move them on top of iris, just so we can see more clearly. We select, make sure to select pencil tool, not brush tool, because it will fill in without any transparency on the borders of our instrument. So we select pencil, we make it the size of the pupil, and we press once. Now let's make the irises. And let's move on to the sclera. We'll hide the layer iris just to see more clearly what we're doing here. we will select the sclera of the ice. We selected the sclera. Let's make iris visible and we can fill it in. From here, we will create another action just to make eyes look normal. So let's press create new action. We will call it refine eyes, and let's start recording. From this point, we need to delete the overlap of the irises and pupils. So let's press Ctrl or Command for Mac on the sclera layer. I'm holding Command and I'm selecting the layer. It selects the visible part on this layer, which is sclera. From here, we go to select and inverse, or you can use a shortcut, but just for the point of being understandable, we select inverse in select. So from this point, we have selected everything except for the inside part. Now let's go to the layer iris and press delete, and it cuts right on the border. Now we have a little overlap of the pupil. Let's go to the pupil and press delete. For our action to be finished, we need to deselect this. We can go to select tab again and press deselect, or very easy shortcut, Command D or Control D, deselect. And that concludes our action here. Let's press stop. So as you can see, now we have action refine eye, which will cut iris and pupil right on the border there. Let's try it again. Sclera, refine eye, it cuts it right there. Let's continue our segmentation and move on to the beard. We have a little beard there. I will make it more hastily and sloppily, just for the sake of saving time, but you should really take your time and be careful with it. And again, because we selected exclude overlapping shapes, now we can just make a path inside. And it'll just keep this part. Beard, done. Let's move on to the ears. This is our ear. We can see part of the ear here. Ears are done. Now everything except for the hair now is face skin. Done with the face skin. Let's move on to the body skin, which is everything here. Now hair. Hair is selected. On this photo we don't have any foreground, so everything behind is a background. So we can just select our fill tool, paint bucket tool, and press, and everything behind. Very important step is to check if you have any holes between layers. And here comes our final part, and final action is actually for saving. From this point we go to the tab file and press save for web. Here, a couple of things to remember. We put our own number of color, which is 18, because this is 18 class segmentation. We choose selective, diffusion, and make sure it's 100% here. Also check this checkbox if it's not checked. We didn't use all 18 layers or classes on this photo, so it only shows 15 colors. We press save, and for this task we need to save the picture with underscore map in the end into the folder ready, which you should create on your desktop. This action action in terms of what I did here could also be put into Photoshop Actions. Let's actually do this. Create new action. We'll call it save. Record and just repeat the process. We go export, save for web. We check all our boxes, which I said earlier, and save to the folder ready. And press stop. Now you have automatic action, which will save the picture into the folder which you have on your desktop. These 4 actions, segmentation I showed you, concludes this video, and good luck.